Welcome to Cinema Slime, the podcast where we celebrate film and continue our journeys to become the greatest cinephiles in the entire universe. I'm Ren, one of your hosts, and as always, I'm joined by my brother-in-law, Scott.
What's up? I don't have a quote. I'm just here, man. I'm so excited. I've got a fourth turning thing today.
Perfect. And then my brother, Harrison.
I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
And every movie we cover is from a curated list and randomly picked based on our monthly theme. And right now, sadly, we're in our final week of our deep dive on the actor Deep Roy. Just a reminder, if you're looking to jump straight to the discussion, you can, where we will discuss J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot, Star Trek.
Who is this? How did you get this number? Do you admit it, sir? Admit what? That you're sorry. Now, wait just a minute.
I think I have a great quote to start our podcast out. You ready?
Is it by Spock?
No, it's from Fratelli from Goonies. Kids suck.
Yeah.
That's what I can say.
If you said any other quote by Mama Fratelli, I'd be pissed.
Dude, I'm telling you, kids are so confusing. This is going to be like a parenting, like little icebreaker here. So
just kids suck.
So yeah, just kids suck. No, what happened was this. Okay, my daughter has really been into swimming lately. It's all she wants to do. And if we go anywhere that doesn't have a pool, she like loses her mind because she's like, what are we even doing here? So it all starts out, I text Paige and I'm just like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's get the kids together and go to a park. She's like, that sounds great.
That's my wife for context. It's not just sister. Texting my wife to hang out with her randomly. Okay, this does make sense.
It does make sense, everybody. So I text her and I'm like, hey, why don't we get together at this park this time? So the day comes and I tell Jamie, like, hey, we're going to hop in the car. We're going to go hang out at a park. And apparently to Jamie, him going to that park would have led to his death because he was being such a turd. He was just like, why? Why do we have to go? I'm not going to have fun. And if I don't like it, we never have to do it again. And he was just going on this rant about it. And I was like, you know what? Stay home. You're being a butt. Whatever. So I load up Charlie. We drive to the park, about 30 minutes or so. I get out. She loses her mind. She stomping her foot, screaming. She like smacked me in the face, which wasn't fun. That's one of the great things about having a special needs kid. And I just kind of like broke, and I was just like, get in the car. I texted Paige, you, Paige and Scott, and I was just like, hey, this is what happened. I'm heading home. I'm really frustrated. Sorry, blah, 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 blah. So I go home and I'm just like defeated all day. Then like 2 days later, Oregon City, the swimming pool is having a family night. We're all going to go. We're going to have a good time. And both my kids are like, I don't know. Jamie's freaking out. And I just kind of pushed through and I was like, okay, we're just going to go. And it's probably going to suck and they're going to get mad. And we're going to drive home and I'm going to be broken and sad again. And we went and we had an amazing time. And Jamie's like learning how to swim and he had a ball. And I'm just like, can you kids just be like consistent for once? Like either never want to leave the house or want to leave the house all the time. It was just like this like mind mess up in my head.
Kids suck.
They do.
If it makes you feel any better, it was actually probably really good that me and Paige had time to talk while the kids were at the park because we hashed out some serious ish. And we wouldn't have done that if your charming self was there.
My boy was doing something similar, but we were going to go to his cousin's birthday party at the river. And he's like, oh, I don't want to go. Just giving this bullcrap attitude and just being whiny about everything. He's like, I don't feel good. I don't know if I want to go. And I'm like, you're just giving me reasons why we're going. We're going. You're coming. I'm not going to miss this entirely. Like, it's like 89 degrees out. Beautiful in Oregon in the month of August.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking advantage of this. And then we go there.
I want to play Minecraft.
And yeah, oh my God. I hate that game. I'm about to chuck it out the window. And
I have more than once.
oh, dude. And we're there, and a few hours goes by, and I'm like, he hadn't said anything about no complaints the entire time we were there. And then on the way home, I just kind of like gently brought that up. He's like, yeah. He hated admitting that I was right, but yeah. It's so frustrating. Like, kids just don't know what the hell they want. But you know that if they're outside, they're going to feel better no matter what they do. Like, get some sunshine, put your bare feet in the friggin' water or the grass, and live a little. Well, maybe you'll learn how to figure it all out, Harrison, after Dad Month next month.
You know what? Possibly.
Based on these movies, I don't know if that's what's going to actually happen. There's some intense dad movies in every direction.
Yeah. I'm interested how, I'll be honest, like some of the movies I have picked for the lottery later, it's just like interesting dynamics with dads. It's not like go find your dad in space only. You know, I've ventured out of that small corner. So I'm ready to expand our horizons.
Well, it was funny. I was making my list up and I was like, maybe I should go for variety. Like the absent father, the dead father,
the overbearing father. Yeah.
The overbearing, yeah, just tried all these different things. And I posted my list, and Scott, he messaged us in the Discord. He's like, thank you for lightening the mood a little bit with the ones I picked.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most intense dad movie I've ever watched a trailer for. I have to watch this now.
Yeah. I got some curveballs for you guys. I sent you my preliminary list, but yeah, I got some new ones.
No, it'll be fun.
When a vengeful Romulan named Nero alters history by destroying the USS Kelvin, a headstrong James Kirk and a logically driven Spock must overcome their personal rivalries aboard the maiden voyage of the USS Enterprise. As Nero unleashes a catastrophic weapon capable of destroying entire worlds, the young, unproven crew is forced to unite in a desperate bid to save Vulcan and Earth. Standing between total galactic extinction and the survival of Starfleet, these future icons must embrace their shared destiny before time runs out. This is J.J. Abrams' 2009 film, Star Trek. Okay, who here is the biggest Star Trek fan?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no for me. I like Star Trek, but I really haven't dove into that world yet. But I think I might be jumping in soon.
Okay.
This movie hyped me up.
So Ren, are you a big Star Trek fan?
No, but I do have a little bit of history. Yeah.
I guess that makes me as the biggest Star Trek fan.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to point my finger at you, Scott, but I figured it was you, but I didn't know.
Way to assume, Ren. Yeah. Way to assume.
Well, real quick, I'll just go over my history, but just in general, I think I watched quite a bit of the TV series, like more than I realized when I was going through the different series that there are. So there's Star Trek Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and Next Generation. Those are the three that, like, yeah, I just remember watching it a ton. My favorite character was always Data. I didn't really know Spock other than the name, so I mostly watched, I think that's Next Generation, I think. I'm not sure. Do you know, Scott?
Oh, yeah, Data. That's Next Generation.
Okay, yeah. His character was always kind of fascinating. As I'm learning more and more, Data is basically Spock, but he's just a robot, but like pretty similar. They kind of share that Venn diagram a little bit with their personalities, kind of like that dry, no humor type of approach.
Oh, man. I guess the Star Trek nerd in me is bigger than I thought because I'm like, quibble.
Yeah, hold on now.
Yeah.
Don't you be conflating my Spocks and my Datas.
Yeah, no. Sorry. With all due respect. But yeah, I think I watched enough Star Trek that when I saw Galaxy Quest, I found it very funny. So
good.
If that gives you any.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that fills it all in. Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, that's some context. But as far as this movie, I remember seeing it in the theater. It was 2009, so a few years outside of high school, and like I was just like, that just looks. I mean, this is a movie theater movie. Like it was designed to be seen on the big screen, loud, And I didn't know who J.J. Abrams was, but I remember really enjoying this in the theater, and yeah, there was a lot of excitement around it. And one thing I was remembering on my watch on this, but I remember being in the theater and thinking, like, I was like, okay, like from here on out, all movies are gonna have this like lens flare effect because it looks so cool. And it never really, it was just like a flicker of time. I haven't seen it really.
I feel like I sort of absorbed Star Trek through osmosis because I remember watching Galaxy Quest and finding it just absolutely hilarious. And I understood the references and I understood kind of the culture of it. But I really have never really watched Star Trek, at least, before high school. I think I watched about half of the first season of the original series not too long ago. And I absolutely loved it. I think I just ADHD'd out and got distracted by something else. But I definitely do want to get back into it. I think I mentioned it a couple times that I really prefer more like kind of stories that are back in the day, like medieval times, think like Game of Thrones around that time period, kind of a vibe. But it was cool watching Star Trek and being like, oh, okay, this is like X-Files in space. Like that's kind of the vibe that I felt. Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch more of it. I started this movie up and I forgot. I was like, oh, this is the movie where Kirk gets his ass beat like throughout the entire movie. Like he's just getting beat up throughout it. And I just thought that was really funny. But no, I enjoyed this movie. I couldn't believe how good it looked. Like I was really flabbergasted how beautiful this movie was. I don't know if it was just like this era where CGI and just the way everything looked was just so clean and just so pretty to look at, honestly.
So Deep Roy was in this movie. And
Yes, he was.
He eats a bean. Yeah. So we always had like Star Trek playing in the house. Definitely like Next Generation more than anything else. I think the original Star Trek is really corny, and I think that the Next Generation was a pretty dang serious attempt at it before later iterations of Star Trek started getting like, I don't know, losing the plot a little bit as to the whole purpose of what they were trying to do, of like, let's show a model world for the future and deal with like existential crises rather than let's just do political commentary with current day issues through Star Trek lens, like every TV show seems to be these days. And the original Star Trek and Next Generation and their cohorts like Deep Space Nine and Voyager and stuff all did that really pretty well. And so it's mostly been the modern stuff that hasn't really landed that great. Though I do like J.J. Abrams' reboot movies. I just haven't really liked the shows. I think that, like if you're going to watch Next Generation, you kind of have to skip like seasons 1 and 2 and come back to them later when you already care, because they're just not good. But there's like peak cinema, some incredible stories, some stories that have genuinely changed who I was. And so it's I've got a lot of respect for Star Trek. I think it can ultimately be pretty pretentious, and then when you don't make it pretentious, it loses the plot. So it's kind of one of those like, here's your philosophical sci-fi for the week, and they're pretty good in that regard.
Yeah. I've heard that for Next Generation, basically you have to start watching it once Riker gets a beard. Any episode where he doesn't have one isn't worth watching, apparently. At least that's what I've heard.
That's funny. Is that the guy who does the voice in Gargoyles? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I gotta look up the...
You know what? He might be. I think I'm having inklings of my brother telling me that, but I'll have to look
it is. True. Just confirm it right now. How about, is that the one with the guy from Reading Rainbow?
Yes. Oh, no. Okay. So Geordie LaForge, the dude that wears the like eye visors, that's Reading Rainbow.
That
guy.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then which one has Will Wheaton in it?
That's Next Generation.
All right. Next Generation is the best one, for sure. And we didn't even mention who plays Captain
Picard.
Worf. Yes, Captain Picard. Sorry, remind me his name again. The actor.
Jean-Luc. Oh no, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. And he cut his mullet from Dune. Thank God.
I don't know, man. Now, so I think what we're kind of establishing here right now with this episode is I don't think this is going to be one where we're really nitpicking in terms of the movie compared to the TV show. Maybe a little from Scott. Maybe he's a little more excited about doing that.
No. I mean, I've got some interesting comparisons, but they're all positive.
Anyone listening, if you're here to like, oh, I wonder what they think about the comparison between the TV show and the movie, I don't think we're going to be doing that a bunch right now. I think we're really just focused on this movie. Kind of like you said, Ren, this felt like a blockbuster movie to me. You know, I feel like it wasn't very artsy. I feel like it wasn't the deepest of movies, but I finished that movie and I was like, I just had a blast. I had so much fun. Like, just to see the Enterprise, to see all the characters that, you know, I'm not like super like familiar with, but familiar enough that you're like, dude, that's them. And like their portrayal is really cool. And I don't know, it's just a great cast of characters. And I think what's great about it is I feel like it felt like an ensemble movie. You know, of course you got Spock and Kirk, you know, they're the stars, they're in front and center, but I feel like you needed everybody that was around them to really boost this movie and make it honestly a great movie that it is.
Playing off of what you were just saying about the show and stuff, but one of the most impressive things that I found about the movie was how they solve like the whole reboot the series formula with the Kelvin timeline. Rather than like wiping away all the decades of Star Trek history like most remakes do.
Looking at you, Star Wars, destroying all the canonical books. I freaking hate you.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out. J.J. Abrams uses time travel to split the timelines. So he preserves the original universes and then he opens up the fresh new narrative. But it's cool because later on in the movie, you know, he brings in Leonard Nimoy, comes back as Spock, into this alternate reality, which is the bridge for it all. And then he gets to keep the legacy of the original crew and kind of passes on the torch. And that's just really damn good. And it gives the story real stakes, like killing off the Vulcan, but without disrespecting all the lore that came before it. So it respects the longtime fans, even though I'm sure it pissed a ton of Trekkies off, but it keeps it open to more sequels after this, which is what happens. But, you know, maybe there's other creative ways to do it other than like multiverse sort of approaches, but other reboots should take note of this one. Because, I mean, dude, at the end of this, I'm with you, Harrison. I was like, dude, that was like, it felt like it just felt proper. And it felt respectful. It's not rewriting history at all. I don't know. I thought it was great.
So the common quibble from the Star Trek community is that Abrams Star Warsified the Star Trek world. And I think for the movies, that was the right approach. But a lot of people disagree. You know, if you're like the long time, Star Trek is supposed to be the philosophical, slower show that asks the deep questions. This movie doesn't really ask the deep questions, and neither does its sequel, and neither does that sequel. But it's okay because it was what Star Trek needed to be relevant again, rather than going off the rails. So
Totally.
I think it was a good choice, especially making the clean cut. They made the clean cut with that Kelvin timeline split, like you said. And I think that is the magic ingredient that just makes it work. It's okay.
Well, I think what's great about it is this is a good jumping on point for anyone who wants to, you know, kind of jump into this world. Like, it's not starting from the very beginning, but it's just a nice clean way. It's just very open to new people. You don't have to have all the history beforehand, but I think that this movie is enhanced if you do know the history. And that's a really, really good blend to have because it just serves both purposes, and that's awesome.
So I have a question. Do you guys have opinions about J.J. Abrams? I have opinions, and I feel like he gets a bad rap more than I think he deserves, and I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are.
My experience with J.J. Abrams is I like him. Like, so I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of all the movies like Star Trek. He did a Super 8.
Super
I remember
8.
that one.
Yep.
I know he did Star Wars Force Awakens, and he also did Rise of Skywalker. So not the one in the middle.
Yep.
And I think like my biggest quibble is Rise of Skywalker. That's the only Star Wars movie that I truly have a problem with. But the thing is, like Force Awakens, like, look, controversial. You guys can yell at me, but it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It sucks because it doesn't like lead anywhere. Like there's not really a satisfying wrap up to that story, but
there's no coherent arc across the trilogy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. But Force Awakens was like, I remember watching that movie in theaters and I was mind blown by everything in that movie. I was so hyped on it, and it's disappointing where it ended up, But I still can't ignore the fact that I watched that movie and I have never been more excited about Star Wars ever.
Yeah. I don't have too many opinions. Just the things that I notice, like the lens flare action that he does in this. I don't know if he does in Star Wars, but he definitely does it in Super 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had to guess, he's probably just hiding like CGI that doesn't look great. I don't know though. It's a cool little thing that he does. And then I've noticed in this one too, there's a lot of camera shaking that I think looks amazing. He reminds me of Spielberg, but like nothing like him.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. They're both like curly-haired Jewish dudes that
Yep.
like make popcorn blockbusters and have depth, but don't make a name on their depth. They make their name on the like blockbusterness of their movies without sacrificing to the whims of Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing in the mix, he did Cloverfield. He also did the Cloverfield Lane, number Cloverfield Lane movie.
Oh, yeah.
And was a producer on both Lost and Fringe.
Well, there you go, Scott. I mean, I know you love Fringe, and I remember watching Lost and loving it as well.
So he's got a really unique thing. And I guess one thing that how much I talk about like, oh, movies is real art, and is it entertaining versus deep, and what's the value in there? And if I were to say like, pull your head out of your butt, Scott, enjoy a movie, like J.J. Abrams is my favorite director. He manages to balance things without it being too serious and without it being too campy. And I've just genuinely enjoyed everything that he's made, except maybe Rise of Skywalker, though even that was spectacle enough that in theaters, I was like, I mean, that was theater worthy, but I don't know that I'll ever watch it again. And I genuinely haven't. So
I did have a quick list I want to ask you guys just on the topic of reboots, but out of these, and maybe I'm missing some, but these are considered some of the best reboots of all time. Maybe we could rank them or something, but I put Star Trek near the top, but I want to see what you think. So we got Star Trek, 2009, Batman Begins,
That's
Casino Royale.
Dang,
Ooh.
I mean...
Dune.
Okay.
Which honestly, I don't... Yeah. Mad Max Fury Road.
Haven't seen it.
And then Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I haven't seen.
I want to watch those Planet of the Apes movies. I haven't seen them.
I have a running on my deep dive list if it ever gets chosen is Planet of the Apes deep dive.
Yes, that sounds sick. Now, out of those reboots you just listed, I would like Casino Royale is actually legitimately a really, really good movie.
I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, no, that's a really
one.
great one. Honestly, all those you listed are pretty dang solid, and I think Star Trek does deserve to be up there.
Now, Ren, are you seriously telling me that the new Dune is not better than the old Dune?
Oh, no. It's better, but I wouldn't put a top 3 of that list I just made.
I get it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because the Dune 2 is way better than Dune 1. Anyways, we can move on.
That's
Got opinion.
Hot take.
Pretty much. So anyways, we've been kind of dancing around this movie. Like, look, it's really entertaining. It's awesome to see the Enterprise. It's awesome to see all these characters. And like, honestly, I don't know how deep you can get with this movie, because I feel like it does have some flaws, and I feel like there's some areas that they could have, dove a little deeper in and just gave us a little more motivation for some of the characters. But one thing that I really did like about this movie is I feel like the center of this movie is the relationship between Kirk and Spock, and setting them up as the stars of the show, as the characters we care about. I don't know. I like this sort of like parallel journey we were going on with their growing up. You see Kirk, lost his father, lost his mother. Actually, wait, did he lose his mother? I can't remember. I think she died. No, she didn't. Okay. Well, just to see like, his phase of him stealing that car and rebelling and, just going on his huge rebellious streak. And then you have Spock, he's half human, half Vulcan, and he's going through school and he's beating up those kids that are making fun of him, and seeing him go through that rebellious streak. I actually really, really liked the scene where Spock goes in. They accepted the Science Academy, and then the guy's like, despite your flaws. And he's like, whoa, hold on. I'm going to make you say this. I'm going to make you say exactly what's on your head. And he's like, what are my flaws? And he's like, well, your mother. And then, I don't know what it was, but when he's like, he basically says like, you know what? I'm not going to accept my position in the Science Academy. And then he goes, and live long and prosper. And I was like, that was the biggest fu ever in just the Vulcan way to do it. I absolutely loved it.
I also love that the little kids were basically just dropping like yo mama jokes like little Vulcans.
I know, that was
pushing him around. Let us elicit an emotional response by saying mean things about your mother.
I presume you've prepared new insults for me today. I love that part.
By the way, Scott, do you think the future of schooling is each kid's in their own little like little pod, and there's just holograms just floating around their head the whole time? I was like, this is crazy.
Dude, hot take right here, but you know, everybody likes to put Vulcans and elves and stuff on pedestals because they're like so noble and pretentious.
Oh.
Freaking hate elves. Elves are so stupid. Vulcans are dumb. They're like, let's sanitize everything and turn everybody into robots. Freaking go die.
Yeah.
I hope your planet gets blown up by a Romulan.
Gets imploded. Oh my gosh.
I hope Sauron comes in and shines his eye right at you.
Boom. Take that.
I got something to add about the Kirk and Spock stuff that I really liked. I mean, the movie's kind of like following Kirk, and he's kind of like the chosen one or the hero in the movie. And then he runs in, they have this collision, him and Spock, and it's like pure raw instinct meets intellect. And in the end, they have to work with each other to like unlock like this leadership quality and complete the mission. I was just like, I like that. And then also in the beginning, okay, you were bringing up when he's like at the council and stuff, but there's that part where Kirk gets accused of cheating.
Yeah.
And Spock's whole thing is just like, I'm trying to simulate fear to see how you react under pressure. And then later in the movie, what does he do? Kirk like gets in his face and he gets mad, and then he attacks him, and he realizes that he failed his own game.
Yeah.
And it's not a simulation. And then that's why he steps down as commander, and then they reunite. I was like, dude, that's just like, I love it.
It is the most logical way to give up command.
Yeah, it was really good. Really well done. I just got done talking, but we need to talk about the opening scene.
Dude. Oh my.
That's so awesome.
I'll be honest. I think this opening scene, like I said this with A Quiet Place, but I think this opening scene is like one of the best ones. Like I feel like it's so good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I was watching it, the guy playing Kirk's dad, I was like, I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is Chris Hemsworth without his Australian accent. This is crazy.
His squinty eyes.
He's so young and attractive and cute.
Yeah, such like a clean look, like so very like, this is my first big acting job. I'm going to try and look as normal and as possible. And have like.
And then you compare that to like beer gut Thor.
Yeah.
When he can just kind of be himself.
The most underrated thing that Chris Hemsworth does is when he's talking to the commander and he's about to leave and he gives him control of the ship, it pans to Chris Hemsworth's face and he's just like he looks pissed, or like he knows what he was just given is going to lead to something really challenging. And he's not like, all right, I can do this. He's just like, shit.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that all leads to him, and he's on like that video call with his wife. She's giving birth, and then when she screams, and then it goes silent, the OBGYN with the big bug eyes is there.
The huge eyeballs. She's got the great big anime eyeballs.
Yeah.
She wigged me out on the first look. I was like, okay, all right. I do it now.
Judgy.
But yeah, that opening scene is just awesome. Great intro.
I legitimately choked up in this opening sequence. Like, just the whole situation. It's like he has to stay on the ship so that he can go on a collision course to destroy this giant ship that just killed them. He's on the phone with his wife who's giving birth. You got the timer. He's got like 30 seconds to, hear the cries of his newborn babe and name the child with his wife. Like, literally, I was watching, I was like, this is the most like, not cliche thing, but just the most like heroic thing ever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like crying. This is crazy.
You know what would have made this scene better though?
What?
Having the camera spin around Billy Bob Thornton 4 times within 10 seconds.
Little Armageddon homage.
It could have been good.
Come on, JJ.
All right, so this scene is really important because this is the scene that establishes the entire timeline split. Okay, so I don't know if everybody understood what was going on here. I watched this movie actually on my honeymoon. Okay. So I was like, I didn't know there was a new Star Trek movie that came out. And we were like literally on our honeymoon, bought it off the rack of the grocery store, and we watched it like right like the day after we got married. So it's been like, I don't know, 17 years or whatever, I guess, since this movie came out. 17, 18 years or something like that. I was like, okay, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff is happening right now. But it wasn't until I watched it this time and I was doing the research that I was like, oh, I get why it works so well. Because so old Spock and Nero are from old Spock's future. That's like normal Star Trek time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nero gets caught into a black hole and time travels back in time to when Kirk is being born. And so he has gone back in time, and then he shows up 25 years later again to be the same antagonist against the young Kirk and Spock. But the actual events of his home planet being destroyed is like another like 40 or 50 or 70 years in the future from the moment of this. So at the time that he goes back and kills Kirk's father, that's where the timeline splits. And so because old Spock also went back in time and has been marooned on that ice planet for this whole time or whatever, he's the only remnant. So we don't actually jump between timelines or anything. What we're seeing is one continuation line, this new Kelvin timeline, and we never go to the original timeline. We just know of the original timeline because we're humans that have watched Star Trek, and also because Spock, old person Leonard Nimoy Spock, is our anchor to pass that torch on. So I think that, once again, the scriptwriters did a really good job really having a lot of respect for the original timeline by not showing it at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just allowing the new one to exist.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is kind of like a blockbuster movie. And I think if you are jumping between timelines, I don't know if it would have came off the same way. Like I like the fact that they kind of just kept it nice and simple for this one.
We haven't had years of training of Marvel at that point in time.
Yeah,
yet.
I know, right?
We weren't ready for that kind of a commitment.
We weren't.
My one question about this is, why couldn't have old Spock? Why couldn't he have left where he was marooned and gone to that Starfleet base? Like, I feel like how long was he on that planet?
No idea.
Crickets.
Crickets. Okay. That was the one thing I was like, because Kirk gets abandoned on that planet, just happenstance exactly where Spock is. I'm assuming there was something to do with time travel somehow. The other, like the old Spock was able to tell the young Spock, like, hey, when you maroon Kirk, make sure you drop him here because I'll be there. But he lands and old Spock is like, yeah, there's a Starfleet outpost over here. Why don't we head there? And all I could think of was like, why didn't you go there before? Like, you just kind of hung out on this ice planet for like, 15 years or whatever it was.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say plot hole, it didn't matter.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's
Yeah.
a big don't worry about it. That's a very common phrase in the Marvel scheme. You just say, hey, don't worry about it. And we can just apply that to Star Trek as well. It's all good.
I think that one works here. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I just want to talk about Chris Pine. This was my introduction to him. He does a lot of faces in this movie, and he's pretty awesome as Captain Kirk.
I watched an interview and he called it channeling my inner Shatner.
Yeah, I think Chris Pine did a great job. I will say though, so you guys think that actor from The Green Knight has a punchable face? I think young Chris Pine has a very punchable face. Like the whole time, I was like, "You have such a dumb looking face." I don't know why, but
I would say kissable face.
no. Okay, look. Older Chris Pine. I just watched him in a movie called Don't Worry, Honey, and he is amazing in that one, and he definitely has a kissable face in that one.
We have different tastes, Harrison.
Hey, everybody's got different tastes.
I
It's all
would
good.
never punch Chris Pine over Barry Keoghan. Never.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine punching Chris Pine and Barry Keoghan's just standing there and being like, "Thanks, man."
You could have punched me and you didn't.
Yeah, I'm like,
really appreciate
I made the wrong choice. Instant regret.
What's the kid that played as the main character in Holes? I can't think of that actor's name right now.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. So yeah, if you punched Chris Pine in front of Barry Keoghan's face, Shia LaBeouf would be standing right there just clapping. And it would be perfect.
I have a note here that one thing about this movie that I just found kind of funny was you have all of the classic characters of Star Trek in this movie. And it was kind of funny to see like the origin of how they got their jobs. And I just felt bad for all of the other recruits that had the job and they got replaced by the Star Trek characters. It happens throughout the whole movie. Like literally Bones is like, hey, that doctor who's in charge of this, he's dead. What do I do? And he's like, well, you're in charge now. Or like Uhura, like they're like, hey, we can't translate this right. And Uhura's like, oh, I know what they're saying. And the captain's like, all right, you get out of here. This is your job now. And I feel like that just happened throughout the entire movie. And I'm just like, man, those poor recruits, like they're brand new too. And they just got their asses kicked out off their jobs.
So do you guys know the original actors for like the Star Trek crew in comparison to these? Like, can we do like favorites between like original actor versus like modern actor?
This is my weak point. For sure.
I might be able to pull it off.
I just want to say that the guy that played modern day Chekhov is really cute. And I'm sad that he passed away very horribly after the third movie, because I feel like he is just a shining beacon and super cute. And I like him way better than the original Chekhov.
I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on that one. No, yeah, honestly, he had this like young Tom Holland vibe at one point. Like he was, it's when they're trying to beam them up after they fell off of that drill. And he's like, I can do this. And he's just like super hyped and like, he has all this energy and doesn't know where to go. So he's just like running through the spaceship to try and beam them up.
He is the OG Tom Holland.
That's funny. Kind of. I can see that.
Also, so Sulu gets like a Galaxy Quest callback by not being able to like get the ship out right. And I was like, I mean, it's good, but it does feel like it's like cyclically Inception ripping off of a ripoff of Star Trek. Like, I'm glad it was there, but also Galaxy Quest did it better.
Right. He was fine in this movie. I think I like the original guy a little bit more, but I think he pulled off this role very well. I know that the actor who originally played Sulu, he called him after he got the part and was basically like, you have my blessing. You're going to do an amazing job. You got this. And
that's great.
I just think that's really cool. Actually, there's multiple actors and actresses in this movie. They got a call from the original actors and actresses, and they basically all approved everyone, which was really cool.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Zachary Quinto play Spock in a fan film before this? And that's why he was cast?
I'll look it up. You guys talk.
Question. I wouldn't be shocked. From what I remember, he was one of the very few people who got offered the job. Like, I don't think he was the only one, but I know he was one of the very few, because I feel like a lot of people were like, no, this guy was like born to do this. Like, he's got the vibe, he's got the look. And if I'm recalling correctly, his hair is actually his hair. It's not like a wig. And I read just a little blip about it. He was like, yeah, I grew my hair out, then I cut it that way, dyed it. And it just kind of gave me that vibe of when you look back at a picture of yourself when you were a kid and you really dressed up as your favorite character for Halloween. And you're just you just look like such a dork. And I felt like that the whole time, but I wanted to honor this character as much as I possibly could, and so on and so forth. But I think he pulled it off very well. Like, I don't know if he's better than Leonard Nimoy, but
they're different. They're different characters.
Yeah, they're definitely different characters.
But they're not.
Yeah, right. But no, I think he did a really good job.
I think he was perfectly cast.
Yes.
Yeah, he's awesome in this. And then to answer your question, no, he did play villainous Sylar on NBC's Heroes prior to this, but yeah.
Okay. He was good in that show too. At least season 1. Let's not talk about season 2, 3, and 4, I think.
Heroes.
Good one and done. Good one and done. One and done TV show. Just watch season 1 and forget the rest.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Travelers?
No, I've heard about it, but I don't think I ever watched it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Time travel-y. Okay, so this was my biggest question after watching it, was like, these characters are playing the same characters, but it's in a different timeline, and they have different motivations. And I was like, what is what defines the differences between them, because it's not like Chris Pine is the same Kirk as William Shatner's Kirk. Like they act different ways. Like William Shatner is not as explosive and like reckless as Chris Pine is, but I feel like Chris Pine's character works.
Yeah.
And in the later movies, like the third movie, Star Trek Beyond, older Chris Pine starts to feel and look a lot more like William Shatner. And I was like, if you look at young Shatner and you look at young Pine, they're physically very similar and they have similar mannerisms, but how Shatner solves a problem on a planet versus how Kirk or Chris Pine solves a problem on a planet are two very different ways. And I was really trying to like figure this out. And this is what led me down the fourth turning route. Okay.
All right,
so you guys ready for the fourth turning
I'm
for
ready,
Star
dude.
Trek?
Oh, I'm
teased
suited
it.
up. I got my
sweating.
popcorn. I got my soda. This is gonna be great.
So kind of the way that I looked at this was that the original version of them and the new version of them are basically the same person that were born into different generations for the fourth turning because of the event that Nero created. So if Nero hadn't shown up, then these people would have become who they were supposed to become. But because there was a crisis at a different period, it put them into a different generational cohort, and they had a different culture that they grew up in. And so they adopted a different cohort as the process. Really quickly, to ground everybody in the fourth turning, there's like 20-year generational groupings of people, and the environment that they're born into kind of determines the worldwide or cultural vibe that they're born into, what the expectations are, and whether you're deviant from it or whether you align pretty closely. So there's the prophets, and the current iteration of prophets are the boomers, the people that are like the elders. They're roughly 60 to 80 years old, and they're kind of the people that have lived their whole lives. They've seen a lot, they have wisdom, and they're just trying to kind of pass it down to people. And they're the ones that were born, they're born right after a crisis. So after World War II, they're the first generation right after World War II. Okay. Then you've got the nomads. These are Gen Xers. They're the 45 to 65-year-old people. And these are kind of like being born into the safe after crisis world that the boomers built for them. They have this kind of managerial sort of approach to things, but they're influenced a lot by moral direction and stuff like that. So we get a lot of the Greenpeace and stuff comes out of the Gen X and nomad generation.
So probably most of our audience is parents.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Then we've got the heroes, and the current iteration of the heroes is the millennials. That's us, 20s, early 20s to mid 40s. Oftentimes we're the ones that see the corruption in the new system that's been built by the boomers and managed by the Gen Xers, and and so we go and we try to go, okay, we see through the BS. We're going to be team oriented. We're going to try and we see the new crisis coming up, right? We're part of the third turning, born into the third turning, and we're going to run head into whatever the next crisis is. And so the next crisis started in 2008 with the great financial crisis and is basically kind of wrapping up and coming to a peak. Whatever this nonsense that we're living through right now is this fourth turning, that we're the ones that are basically leading the charge through that. Those are the millennials, the heroes that fight through the crisis. And then right after that, or like born in the middle of the crisis, are the artists. And these are the Gen Alphas, basically our kids. Anyone that's basically 20 years and younger are the artists. And they're the ones that are like, hey, everything before us doesn't make any sense. We need to burn it to the ground, rebuild it, and we're the artists that are going to recreate it. So our kids are the ones that are going to rebuild this. Okay, so that's fourth turning, high level. I finally did a decent enough job explaining it without stumbling all over the place.
You did great. You did good.
So mapping all of these people onto the different generations. So we have Spock Prime, old Spock, Leonard Nimoy. He is the wise elder. He's the prophet. He's born just after a crisis. This is even part of the story that there was, all this, we needed to save the world. There was this black hole. We needed to stop it, all this kind of stuff. He came in and he's lived this high of this awakening as a moral crusade, right? And Spock basically fits this exactly. He knows the future better than anyone else because he has seen the future, even though it's not their future. He still knows the consequences of the future that they're living right now. And so he just perfectly can map onto being the wise elder, A, because he's a Vulcan, B, because we trust him because he's Leonard Nimoy, and C, because he genuinely fills that role pretty great. But his younger self, because the crisis shifted way earlier, Spock was born in the middle of the current crisis. He was born just before Nero happened because he's older than Captain Kirk, right? They established that in school. He's an older student. He's born before Captain Kirk was born, so he was a young kid when Nero came in and destroyed everything and caused all the problems. He is an artist. So what he's basically overprotected as a child, comes to age as a sensitive, refined young adult in the crisis's aftermath, and he has all these Vulcans' expectations above him. He's torn between these two worlds, like our kids are torn between the old world and the new world. And he's like, do I go with the old elders or do I forge the new generation? And that's his total internal belief. So first off, I just love the fact that the prophet and the artist, because it shifted backwards, they are the same person born into two different worlds, and they have two very different approaches to life, and both of them feel true and both of them feel right for their respective shows, and I love that. Then you've got Prime Kirk, the destined original Kirk, right? That's not actually shown in this show, the William Shatner Kirk. Throughout the shows, he is the hero. He's the millennial. He's basically like, hey, life sucks. We're going to come in. We're going to do the best. We're going to solve it. We're going to Captain Planet this. We're going to actually save all the stuff. But he's the one that's forced with the actual crisis to fight in the first place. And so he's confident, team-oriented. That's why. So in the original show, the Kobayashi Maru test, he had a deep respect for the Kobayashi Maru. That's what he was born to do. He doesn't bucket stuff. He's like, no, like when there's a no-win scenario, what you do is you be Captain Kirk. You just solve it anyway. You know, you bring your team together. Like, hoorah, it's great. And that's what William Shatner's Kirk does great. He absolutely brings teams together. And then you've got young Kelvin Kirk. And this is the Gen Xers. These are like our parents. And he's the nomad that's disillusioned with the boomer parents before them, you know, and they're underprotected. They're the latchkey kids. They're the ones that basically when they see the world, like his father dies, he doesn't have a dad, you know, all those things. And so he's a very relatable person due to the life circumstances that we have right now, especially as a young person in 2009, right? And so he becomes the hero of the person who had no direction. And if you look at movies through the late 2000s, there's so many movies of the person without direction getting direction by kind of being forced to find a gang or a team or a group of people, and it brings them up to their actual height. And they're the ones that they come to lead, and they're meant to lead, but they're like not born for it per se, and they need to be molded by other people around them, by their team to do it. So once again, putting those two next to each other, it's like, I love the fact, like from a storytelling perspective, that old original Kirk is just like this shallow, great hero guy. Everyone wants to root for him because he just does the right thing. And then you've got him, like Chris Pine Kirk, who you're kind of a bonehead. And like, you do have big shoes to fill. And whereas Zachary Quinto does fill the shoes really well as an artist, sensitive artist version of a Vulcan. He already has his emotionality. He doesn't need to learn it like Leonard Nimoy's character did. He already has it because of his circumstances. Zachary Quinto fills those shoes perfectly, but Chris Pine's Kirk does not fill those shoes. And it's not until his team is forced upon him due to the intervention of the prophet, Kirk, that he becomes the Kirk that we need. And he becomes worth being Kirk in the first place. because he didn't stand up. He didn't fight. He wasn't as good as his own dad until he was forced to. And when he did, he was worth it. And I think that distinction, that it's not like you as a person are entirely molded by your scenarios, but it's still your choice. It's still your choice whether or not you're going to destroy Vulcan as Nero. It's still your choice whether you're going to become the captain. It's still your choice whether you're going to cry in a corner or you're going to forge the new generation as the new young Spock. And I think that's the most powerful message of this film, that it really is a coming of age story, that it was, like you said at the beginning, Ren, when you just sever off and you get rid of every Vulcan from the entire timeline, there is no anchor to base this story off of. And so there are no old elders for Starfleet to be following the Prime Directive. Now it's run by a bunch of 30-year-old dudes and gals. And what are they going to do with that when they don't have the wisdom to fall back on? And that's that's the timeline split philosophically. That's what I got, guys.
That's awesome.
Fourth turning.
Beautiful.
Well done. Well done. Just you reminded me of something that I took a note of, but there's a part where Spock, when he just kind of realizes that he's literally the last of his entire species, I kind of went down this like existential thought. I was just like, dude, the psychological insanity of knowing that is kind of underplayed in the movie, but like imagine being in that position.
Spock,
that'd be terrifying.
I just watched my entire planet get destroyed. I'm compromised.
I love that moment.
That was such a good line.
That's cool.
It was such a good line, and honestly, like Spock's emotions throughout this whole movie, I think is one of the shining parts of it to me. Just his journey, living in a culture where he's half Vulcan, half human, and he has those emotions that, Vulcans aren't supposed to have, basically. And his struggle to balance that. And it's really cool because I feel like he goes from one end to the other throughout the film. Like that moment when he talks to his mother, Winona Ryder, by the way, which I thought was really cool. I was like,
Winona Ryder, what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Totally forgot her. She was in this.
But I like that moment where he's basically like, yeah, I'm about to go into to Vulcan training and have those emotions basically purged out of myself. And then, I don't know, I just like the fact that he's like, that's not a reflection on you, Mom. Like, just know, this isn't me saying anything rude to you. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know, it's just so interesting because you go through this journey of him, like, he loses control when Kirk is like in his face about it. When his planet is destroyed, he's trying to keep everything under control. He's trying to keep everything going. And then when like that scene when Uhura like goes into the elevator with him, and she is just trying to comfort him in any way she can, and he's just telling her like, I just need everything to work. I need everyone to operate at efficiency. This is what I need to not like lose my mind right now. Like I
quote that often.
Yeah,
I need everyone to continue operating admirably, or whatever he says.
Dude, I felt that, honestly. I was like, sometimes that's what you need. It's like, I just need everything to stay normal for a little while while I figure this out, while I emotionally figure out my feelings in this moment. And I think kind of the peak moment, at least for me, is that contrasting line from Spock's father at the very beginning. It's near the beginning of the movie that he says something along the lines of like, well, I'm the ambassador to Earth and to humans, so it was logical that I married your mother. And then at the end, when he tells him like, I married your mother because I loved her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spock looks up at him like, what? Like, I think that was just his moment of realizing, just, I don't know, centering himself and being able to balance his emotions versus his logical thinking. It was, I don't know. I think it just did a really, really good job of that.
Watching this movie, I had an insane flashback when Spock loses his cool and he like beating up Captain Kirk. But I remember being in Boy Scouts. I just remember seeing 2 or 3 of these other kids in my Boy Scout troop who were pretty nerdy. They cracked under pressure, like while camping for a week. And I remember one time I saw this fight break out. Spock's he's like the spokesman for nerds, I feel like. Just the way yeah. Anyways.
Whoa. You're not going to tell me the rest of that story?
Well, it almost came to blows. And I remember he like grabbed like his collar like he does in the movie, and he like held his arm back, but it just looked all like lanky, and he had never thrown a punch in his life, and he didn't throw the punch, and I was like, oh. Yeah, that's it.
You can cut this out. Who give me a name?
His sister, dork.
That's funny. Okay. Man.
Also,
Yeah, oh my god. Anyways,
rest in peace.
my connection with the is when I came over for my mission, I was dating him. And we had this weird like get together, and it was like this passive like, hey, like we're not dating anymore. I'm dating, and he came out as gay later on. Lives in New York, and I'm happy for him. But it was just really funny. Anyways,
couldn't believe when he came out of the closet.
Right.
Blew my mind.
So I do want to talk about the few problems I have with this movie.
This movie does have problems, guys.
It does have problems, and I think
wait. The number one problem is that Deep Roy does not have a speaking part in this movie.
That definitely is the number one problem in this film.
He does whimper.
So the two notes I have, one of them, there was just a handful of scenes that I was just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, we could have done something better with this. The 3 scenes I have listed are when Kirk is running away from that monster on the ice planet. I was just like, okay, like, I guess, like, whatever.
Abrams monster scene.
Yeah. When Scotty gets teleported into that water tube and we spend like 5 minutes of him trying to get him out. I was just
That's the worst. That's the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like he's Augustus Gloop.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, we could have came up with something better. And this one, I didn't mind because it was kind of funny to see Bones running around helping him. But when Chris Pine has that allergic reaction and his hands get like huge, like I was like, this is a little too goofy. But I kind of like watching Bones freak out and trying to like scan him and then just grabbing like random syringes. He's like, here, let's try this. And he's just like sticking in his neck. And he's like, stop doing that. Like, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's kind of like my limit of Abrams' level of humor too.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. It's like, okay, like we can do better than that, but let's move on. And then the other one, it was weird. Like, I wouldn't say this movie had a boring bad guy.
Yeah, well, that's my take.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I didn't find him boring. I found him a little shallow, but I think like the design of the character, the design of the ship, the weapons that the ship shot out, like I felt like it was kind of covered in like cool looking stuff. So it didn't make him like a bad villain, but I was like, I feel like we could have used 1 or 2 scenes of him just getting a little more depth out of them. So I don't know, just timeline possibilities, Scott, just help me out here. Could Nero have gone to see his planet at any point and see like, oh, it's still there?
Well, the fact that he just hung out for 25 years in one spot waiting says yes.
Okay, because honestly, I was kind of waiting for something like that because I was like, wait a minute, his planet should still be there.
Don't tell me it didn't happen. It did happen.
Yeah,
I was there.
Well, the thing is that
I saw it happen.
It's kind of hard because it is kind of like, I mean, he did go through the emotion and the experience of seeing his planet blow up. It's still there now.
But you know what? So did Spock.
It's true.
Twice.
It's very true. So it was just one of those, like, I was kind of waiting for a moment for him to see his planet was still there and maybe have that conflict of like, what have I done? You know, what are my motivations now? Like, I was just waiting for something like that to add a little more depth to it.
This is Nero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him as how he portrayed his character, but I agree that he is depthless.
Yeah. I will say I did like when he hailed the ship and he didn't call him Captain Kirk. He was like, hello, Christopher, or something like that. I thought that was really funny.
So I will respectfully disagree with you guys because I mean, I can accept like some of the plot holes and waiting all the years and everything, but I just think Eric Bana was miscast. I can just.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why him? I don't think he has a terrible American accent. He's from Australia. He has like a really strong Australian accent, and he just looks like he's wearing makeup. He doesn't feel. He was the most miscast person in the entire movie. If I had to pick one,
yeah,
IMO.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd agree. But I think he did fine. I just don't think he got good enough material to show off the character that he was.
Okay, toss up. It's either him or Tyler Perry. Like, why was Tyler Perry in this? I do not. He just says his lines, and he has like 2 lines. Anyways,
The gal, I would say that the gal that plays Uhura was probably miscast because she's not anything like the original Uhura. I think she did a great job. I like her a lot because she's not anything like the original Uhura.
I like looking at her.
Okay.
She can stay. She can stay.
I can agree that she's not like her original character, but I still think she knocked it out of the park. Like her scenes with Spock.
I like her a lot.
A shining part of this movie, and I think she absolutely killed it.
I agree.
You keep Zoe's name out of your mouth, Scott.
Yeah.
I like her in the second movie when she goes to try and negotiate with the Klingons down on the planet or whatever, and she's like saying the wrong words, and it just doesn't work at all. It was a good scene.
See,
I can't remember.
I don't know. See, I did like the scene where they give out the assignments. And Uhura goes up to Spock and she's like, I am on the USS Enterprise. And Spock just goes, looks like you are. And he hits a button and reassigns her. I was like, there you go, girl.
I was attempting to avoid favoritism.
Foreshadowing, too, because I love when Captain Kirk looks over and they're just making out. That part's funny.
Oh, yeah, right.
The secret romance
like,
the whole time.
Whoa, okay. Yeah. The breaking of the secret romance. It's like, nope, I'm potentially going to lose him. He's going to die on this, so I'm not going to hide it anymore.
So, Scott, did you have to, like, defrag any corrupted files and find out anything special about Deep Roy in this role, or was it nothing fun?
this role people know about.
Okay.
Basically, from Willy Wonka or from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on, Deep Roy is like a human.
Yeah.
Instead of a prop.
By the time he shows up, I forgot why we were watching the movie. And when he runs down the hallway, I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
That is an Oompa Loompa run.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, when it does show him walking. I'm like, that is totally him. Like I'm so familiar with him now. His gait.
I love his
height.
I love his like blinky eyes.
Yeah.
His little black They convey zero emotion eyes. He's just like there. No, like I like to joke about it, but I actually really do like I like Scotty and I can't remember Deep Roy's character's name. I think that they are fantastic comedy relief for this because of how Deep Roy plays it so quiet and straight. Simon Pegg is probably my favorite British actor.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. I'm not as familiar with him as you.
Yeah, no, he's pretty great. He's actually the one, I think he was the only actor that J.J. Abrams, he literally sent him an email and was like, hey, do you want to play this character? Like, no auditions, no nothing. He was like, I want you.
When you look at young Scotty from the original show and Simon Pegg, it's like, he does such a good job. It's like uncomfortable how good. And same with Bones. Like, those two guys,
yes.
Like, they're just like identical copies.
Yeah, I love Carl Urban. Carl Urban, that's his name, right? I love that actor. He's
the Doom guy to me.
There's a deleted scene in Lord of the Rings where he finds, I believe it's his sister, dead on the battlefield, and his like cry of pain when he's holding her body, it's like Oscar-worthy dread and just sadness. It's so good. I watch that YouTube clip like once a month.
I forgot that he was part of the Rohirrim.
Yes, he's so good.
Just filling in the blank spots, but Deep Roy's character's name is Keenzer. Yeah, burn it into your memory.
So I've not watched any of the interviews and stuff or the panels that he's been on, but apparently he's been going around to like Star Trek Comic-Con circuit and stuff like that because he's a named character. And does he have a last name? I don't know. Do I? Do I?
Do I? Do I? Do I? I love that. We have to watch Galaxy Quest. That movie's so good.
So that would have fallen into sequels, probably.
Yeah, probably. That'd be a good one.
Snowpiercer, Galaxy Quest. What are the sequels?
Yeah, right. Let's see. Just my last few little notes. I love the fact that they had to kill a red shirt character. They had to do it. And I think they did a really solid job of doing it.
Is that the guy that like just burned himself in the fire while doing the free dive?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
doing the
yeah.
free dive, and he's like, "I got the bombs, guys!" And he was like, how close they were to having to pull their chute, and he waited for the very last second, then he just gets sucked into the fire. I was like, there we go. That's what we needed right there.
Also, can you guys explain to me why that is the meanest looking drill you've ever seen in your whole life? It's like the devil's drill.
Yeah, no, it's the chain. It's all about the chain. It's so like primitive for something that is supposed to be in the future. It's like, no, this is literally just a really spiky, jagged looking rusty chain that is holding this giant ass drill in the middle of this middle space. It's so cool.
I mean, I'm just gonna theoretically, I watched Project Hail Mary and they had a big chain that they dropped down into the atmosphere, but was that one big and gnarly? No, Rocky could make really cute links. Why did we need like titanium antlers from hell?
Yeah, no, it's definitely just a bad guy thing in movies, or like, I don't know, like Star Trek kind of feels like a comic booky type of movie to me as well. And it's just a trope where it's like, for example, like Nero's ship, it's like, does it really need to be that spiky? Like, does it have to be that pokey? Does there have to be a bunch of water inside of his torture chamber? Like, you're gonna get Trenchfoot doing that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like, it's like everything's green and brown. Like, bad guys, you can up your game and have a little more stylized ships, I promise you.
So I had this really short, like 1 week time where I thought that we had landed a contract with Paramount and we potentially could make a Star Trek game. So I was like, freak yes. And so I started making, I mean, I've like fully designed out this Star Trek game this is not a thing, guys. Like anyone listening, this is not a thing. It will never be a thing. This is not an NDA. We never landed the contract. It was all like, If you go watch Next Generation and adjacent stories, the Romulans are just insanely dark and cool. Like, if you want the interesting side stories that aren't sanitized, then the Romulans are where you want to go. They've got the secret societies, the spies, assassins, there's all the dark governments, and all this stuff like ultimate dark world government control, conspiracies, everything. Romulans do it. So if they were going to give a spiky ship to anybody, everyone's like, the Klingons, but you can't just give barbarians, the Conans, all the cool stuff. You got to give the dark secret, dark combinations. You got to give them the cool ships too.
My last note is I like the fact, like, there's not a lot of fight scenes in this movie, but there's that one scene when they land on the drill and they're doing that hand-to-hand fighting. That like retractable sword he pulls out is pretty cool. But I love the cheesy moment when he pushes that guy on top of like the furnace blast thing. The guy stands there, looks down, looks up, and then just bursts into flames. And I was like, you know what? We needed that. Like, we really needed that vibe in this fight scene, because that's how so many fight scenes in the original Star Trek show go. It's just so like slow and just cheesy. I love it.
Look around. Can you fashion a rudimentary lathe?
All right, let's jump into slimy scenes.
Let's do it.
I'll go first. I think my slimy scene is the opening scene. We've talked about it. If I don't take it, one of you guys will, and I have to take it. It's just one of the greatest openings that I've seen in a long time. I know it got you feeling emotional, and to me, it was just one of the scenes. It was like, it just kicks off the movie properly. And I really enjoy the movie. I did think, I kind of said my grievances about Eric Bana cast as Nero the villain. Also, just kind of an unsatisfying death for him. There are two egregiously annoying lines in the movie that we haven't talked about. One of them has to do with a cupcake. I don't remember the exact lines, but I wrote down, "Are you serious?" with the, "Are you out of your Vulcan mind?" That's like, it's like a horrible dad joke, but like, yeah, it's just not good. Not good. But yeah, the ending's incredible. I like the life message. The Spock and Kirk of it all, their dynamic is awesome. Almost everyone is cast very well. There are a few parts where, like you mentioned, on the ice planet, it's just, some of it kind of feels slapsticky. I didn't mind the swollen hand part. I like a lot of the dialogue. And then in the end, like almost any movie where Earth is saved just makes you feel good. I really like the ending. I'm going to give this movie a solid 4-star rating, but this movie is incredible and really enjoyed watching it.
I think my not serious, probably slimiest scene is the like both. I think with Sulu, there's like his seatbelt that like goes chick, 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 down and like buckles itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really cool. And also his sword that does the exact same thing. It's like chick, 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 chick. And I was like, yeah. I want those. I really like the juxtaposition between the conversation that Kirk has with Leonard Nimoy, because Kirk doesn't change, but there's such a grounding pull of Leonard Nimoy as just being an actor for so long that he just really grounds the angstiness of Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirk isn't convinced, but he still slows him down. It's like when your grandpa's just kind of like tells you to shut up, sit down, and listen without saying anything, but because they're old and wise, you do it anyway. I like the way that scene worked. And then I like the way that Kirk took that information and applied it correctly in the most Kirk way possible by going up and like getting into Spock's face and insulting his mom again and all sorts of stuff like that until it made him crack for the second time in the movie over your mama jokes. And just how intense that scene was and how everyone was kind of like, Dad's mad, you know? So that's probably my two slimy scene kind of meshed together sequence. Oh, and the way that it ended with, great, you got the seat now. What are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, honest. It's like, I genuinely have no idea. Santa Claus told me to do this. And I trust Santa Claus more than me.
Did you want to do a rating?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Star is 4.
4. Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's my rating too, honestly, just to get to it. Yeah, I think this is a 4-star movie in the fact that my experience watching the movie is really fun. Like the when you're actively watching the movie, you're having a really great time. When you walked out of the theater, when you first saw it, you were just hyped up and all you wanted to do was watch more Star Trek and talk about it with people. And I love movies that do that for me. I don't think this is a kind of movie where I'm going to be laying in bed thinking about it. Like it's not like it's not like a Red Dawn or like a 1917 or movies that, change the way you view things, but it's a fun ride. And I love this movie. So it's a 4-star with a big heart on it for me. My slimy scene is actually a little collection of scenes. I think one of the great things that this movie does is it uses silence in a very, very powerful way. And I think they set it up really early in the opening sequence when that gal gets sucked out of the spaceship and then just no sound at all. Like that really was like,
Sick.
I literally like gasped.
Yeah.
Like I really there's very few moments in my life where I've literally gasped at something, and that was it. But I think probably then there's the emotional one when right after Spock's mother dies and he's just standing there, his arm reached out, and he just can't believe what he just witnessed. But I think one of the best ones is when they're doing that free dive to get onto the drill. It was like silence watching them falling, and as they enter the atmosphere and we're going to land on it, like all these different sounds were like slowly being reintroduced back into the movie. And I thought it was just this incredible, just gradual, release of that sound. And
awesome.
Yeah, just really, really impressive. I don't think I'll ever forget those scenes.
Well, let's transition, boys. We got some business to attend to. We have a new month ahead of us, the month of September, and we've all returned with our curated lists, and the category chosen was kind of up in the air, but dads or fathers, or should we think of a cool name like DADTEMBER?
No, just father.
Father Time or Father Cinema. We'll think of it, but that's the genre.
No, we're gonna go with the first one you just said. It's DADTEMBER. Like, that's just the way it is now.
All right. Yeah, no questions.
That is the true and correct name.
Yeah.
Ren, why don't you start? We'll go Scott, then me.
All right. My first entry for DADTEMBER is a movie that really impacted me the first time I watched it. I mentioned it on last week's episode, but it is titled World's Greatest Dad. Very fitting for the category. It's a Robin Williams movie. It's a really small independent film, and it's just rich in things to talk about. And I miss Robin Williams. In fact, the day of his passing was like 2 or 3 days ago, so it seems fitting.
Oof.
So that's my first entry.
All right. So my first entry is Life is Beautiful in Italian,
God.
because I just want to die again.
I was talking about this movie last weekend with my father-in-law, and I was telling him, I was like, I'm literally afraid to watch that movie again. Because I saw it when I was
me
like
too.
10 or something, and I've never forgot it.
It's one of those movies that. So my brother served his mission in Italy. He loves Italy. He still speaks Italian. He's like 60 years old, 50 years old now, or something like that. It's been a long time. And he's gone back to Italy multiple times. Oh, so I was telling him about our podcast and that we did Cinema Paradiso. And he was like, oh, there are 2 Italian movies that every American needs to watch. Cinema Paradiso, Life is Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I can do it again, but yeah, I agree. But I have to.
Yeah.
It is such a dad movie.
I'm ready to die then. I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, dude.
I'm
Don't say anything.
Scared.
Don't say anything. Go in it blind.
Scared.
Go blind if it gets picked.
All right, well, I'm going to lighten the mood up here a little bit. My first entry is Mrs. Doubtfire, okay? I feel like
yes.
another Robin Williams movie. This is the movie we watched as kids, and we're like, man, I'm sure glad our parents never are going to get divorced. And
The darkest timeline right there.
Yeah.
pretty much. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a great watch. I feel like we're going to watch this, and we're going to come back and be like, this movie's kind of scary, actually. So I think it'll be fun.
Love that movie. Okay, for my second, I don't know a ton about it, but it falls into the category. It's one of the highest rated movies ever. It's called Yi, spelled Y-I. I think it's from Japan or China. Sorry, I don't know. I don't like to do a lot of research prior, but that's my second entry. It's supposed to be incredible.
That was highly recommended in my research.
Yeah.
And I saw it on your list and went, okay, I'll let it be on your list.
Boom. All right.
My second movie is Bicycle Thieves. This is apparently maybe also Italian, either that or French, but it's kind of like the quintessential like broken father story, and everyone loves it, and I'm ready to cry again.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Classic.
Just to lighten the mood again, we're gonna go with my second entry is Fly Away Home. Yeah, I vaguely remember this movie. I know like a daughter's mother dies and she goes to live with her father, and it's something about geese and her having to like fly with them so they get home. I just know I want to say the main dad is Jeff Daniels. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Jeff Daniels, and I know he has a scene where he's in his whitey tighties, so I'm like really hyped to see that.
We have it on DVD. We watched it like 3 months ago.
Nice.
It's a great movie. Great family film. My third entry. I just watched this movie. I was contemplating putting it on the list, but it falls in the category, and it is... I love this movie. Sentimental Value from 2025. Stellan Skarsgård, Renata Reinsve, and Scott. I just have a feeling you're going to love this movie if it gets picked. Harrison, you'll love it too, but Scott, there's just something about it. I think you're really going to appreciate the writing about it.
I was considering whether I was going to do Devil All the Time as a father movie, but I ultimately decided we already watched it.
Yes, we did.
What a sad father movie. Oh my god.
Number 3, lightening the mood for the first time on my end, The Hunt for the Wilder People, because Sam Neill, and he is a great surrogate father here and does in fact adopt at the end. But hey, it's a great one. I want to watch it with you guys because I would just want to laugh so hard talking about this movie with you guys.
Awesome.
I'm hyped. All right, my third entry is a Goofy movie.
Yes.
So I love this movie. Red actually asked me to put it on my list for some reason. I don't know if he just doesn't want to like tarnish his reputation or something.
No.
But...
I know you want an animation on your list. So yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Goofy movie's great. I honestly like. I remember watching a Goofy movie and being like, "Wow, Max, that's Ren, just right there. That's exactly who Ren is." So, but yeah,
I'm still confused why people didn't like his amazing performance at the beginning of the movie.
Dude.
Yeah.
I still don't understand.
It's so good.
Stacy. So for my fourth, oh man, this is starting to get tough. Okay, fourth. Don't be mad, guys, but we're dipping back into Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm picking There Will Be Blood.
Ooh, okay.
Cool.
I'm down for it.
I'm ready to be convinced that this guy's not a total crackpot.
Yeah.
Magnolia trauma. Oh my gosh.
I have frogs in my face.
Yeah. Very interesting father-son dynamic in this one.
Okay. Bringing the tone right back down to the dirtiest and darkest it can be. Viggo Mortensen's The Road.
Oh man.
Dude, I'm surprised by this.
This is apparently like what I did is I asked AI, I was like, what's like the most manly dad movies you can think? Like, think like The Revenant, but father-son or father-kid relationships. And it was like The Road, Logan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I picked The Road. Here.
Nice.
There we go. Well, which is great because my fourth pick is Logan.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I'm really hyped about this. We haven't done an X-Men movie, and X-Men's kind of like my favorite superhero team. I read the comics pretty consistently, a couple issues every single week at least. And I try and keep up with the new stuff. It's hard because there's so much of it. But if this gets picked, I'm really hyped to watch this movie.
Well, we haven't watched Zelda stuff either, so pull your head out of your butt.
true.
Excuse me, Harrison.
You know what? We you know what? Next month our theme is just gonna be like fandoms. Like just you can do Zelda, I'll do a bunch of X-Men, Ren, you'll do a bunch of TMNT.
Yeah.
Like we'll figure it out.
Wait, how is Logan fall into the dad category? Is it about his...
Have you not
I
seen
saw it in the
Logan?
theater. I don't remember anything about it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like the most brutal dad movie ever.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't remember it all.
It's awesome.
It's like his origin
it's so
story, though, right?
No.
No. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something
Not at
else.
It's like the end of his story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually the end of Logan's story. So
But does it show him discovering how he got the adamantine
No.
in his... No.
no, that's like X-Men 2, and then
Okay.
there is a Wolverine Origins movie as well.
Yeah. That's the samurai one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's so corny.
Maybe I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that one's a bit rough, but I'm still gonna watch it whenever I do a rewatch of all
Yeah.
the X-Men movies.
All right, Ren, what's your last one?
This
Don't fail.
This, I don't know much about it. Falls into the category, of course, but it's an animated, mind-blowing visual stunner, apparently. And it's called The Son of the White Mare from 1981.
Yeah.
And it looks
Perfect.
freaking sick. So hopefully it gets picked, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've had this one recommended to me a couple times now,
Okay.
so
I'd never
I'm excited
heard of
for
it.
that one.
I love it.
Okay, so my last one is a really, really hard pick. And I'm going to tell you what I'm dropping, so you feel sad too. There's this 2020 movie with Anthony Hopkins called The Father, where he won an Oscar for playing the father. So it's from his perspective, but he has dementia. And so it's going through the dementia as a father with your daughter.
Oh,
And the trailer, I was like, I don't know if I could survive it.
Hmm.
And it was on my list toe to toe with this one that I am going to pick, called Road to Perdition. That's Tom
Yeah.
Hanks movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything about it if you guys don't know anything, but it looks incredible.
I think it'll be good. Actually, this one almost got it on my list, and then I saw you put it on yours, so I left it off.
Cool.
All right, my last one. This actually comes from the very first list I ever presented to you guys. It's been on my list a couple times. I'm putting Big Fish on our list.
Nice.
Yeah, and like I said in Slack, or said on Discord, we got to just keep the Deep Roy vibe live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, guys. Why don't we start with you, Ren? We're gonna do your list first.
The time has
You ready?
come, and I have no choices that could be selected that would make me sad. And that's a sign of a
That's
good
good.
list.
That is the sign of a good list. All right, here we go. Your destiny is in my hands.
Let's go!
I think this is appropriate for the theme. We're watching World's Greatest
Dude,
Dad.
this is
from
weird.
your
All right.
list.
All right.
All right, that's our first one that we selected. Once we, just for anyone listening, we're gonna be selecting all of these, then we're gonna put it in chronological order.
I'm on it.
Or release date order, and we're gonna watch it in that way. Or sorry, what's the word that we use? Not chronological. We do
Yeah, no.
What's the word
I
that
thought
you
it was
said?
canonical, but it's chronological.
canonical.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
The greater dad expanded universe canonical order.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, your list is up next. Are you guys ready to go back to feeling manly? Because we're watching The
Oh
Road.
my
That's our next
God.
one.
How did I know? Okay.
You just knew it.
Oh my
Just
God.
knew
Are you
it.
excited, Scott, or are you
gnarly.
dreading it? I guess. Have you seen it?
No. I watched the trailer for it and I was like, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is the one that I'm most like interested in watching, even if I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
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 Well, I feel like you had a handful of movies that you're like, oh gosh, I don't think I'm gonna survive this. So I think it'll be good. All right. We're going on to my list. Maybe we'll lighten up the mood just a little bit, okay?
Logan.
Scott, we're watching Logan, okay? literally, I'm not even kidding you. Like I hit the button and you said Logan and Logan popped up. So we're watching Logan.
Thanks for lightening the mood, you jerk.
I know, right? Okay. Oh, this is going to be exciting. I am so hyped for this. Okay, awesome. All right, now we're going to move into our fourth pick. The way this is going to work is each of us are going to get 2 votes, and we're going to put the movies we vote for into a pool, and we're going to randomly pick from there. The one rule you have is you have to vote for one movie on your list, and you have to vote for one movie on someone else's list. And we can't put multiples of the same movie in the pool, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Go, Scott.
Let's see.
I'll do Hunt for the Wilder People and The White Mare.
Okay, I'll put my 2 in. I'll do Sentimental Value, Bicycle Thieves.
Okay, for my list, I'm gonna go Mrs. Doubtfire. We can do a double feature of Robin Williams.
Hell yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm gonna go with.
What a mix.
Man. I'm gonna go with There Will Be Blood.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay. Okay, so just as a quick roundup here, what we have in the pool right now is Hunt for the Wilder People, Son of the White Mare, Sentimental Value, Bicycle Thieves, Mrs. Doubtfire, and There Will Be Blood. I think that's the first time there's no duplicates at all. So
There's no wrong
See what we
choice,
end up
dude.
with,
Those
okay?
are 6 awesome movies.
those are pretty.
No one put a vote in for Life is Beautiful. I think we're all just a bunch of wusses.
There's potential.
It'll make it onto the list.
Yeah, you're
eventually.
right.
I'm not
You're
worried.
right. Holocaust
It's
Month.
that good of a movie.
Yeah.
Stop, dude. I think World War II is my favorite war.
Jesus. All right, ready?
Let's go.
I'm excited for this. Son of the White Mare. It's going to be
Perfect.
our 4th movie. I'm hyped for that one.
Son of the White Mare.
Yep, that one's been recommended quite a few times.
I approve. That's my pick.
Perfect. Okay.
I got them in
Okay.
chronological order for everybody. So, week 1 of Dadtember will be Son of the White Mare. Came out in 1981. Next will be World's Greatest Dad. Came out in January of 2009. The same year, our 3rd movie in week 3 will be The Road. Last will be Logan, which came out in 2017.
Hype.
This is a comparatively recent list.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
This is awesome, and we do have a 5th week in the month. We have not decided what the heck we're gonna do, but it'll be special, and we'll announce that eventually, or maybe we won't. Maybe it'll just show up in your feed. We don't know. But dude, we got that's a pretty great variety of movies, and I'm excited to talk about all of them. Yeah, Son of the White Mare. So I don't know anything about it. I wish I could add something, but it's gonna be awesome.
Nah, it's going to be great. All right, boys. Had a great time talking about Star Trek. Honestly, I could throw that movie on right now and rewatch the whole thing.
That's a wrap on this episode of Cinema Slime. Be sure to watch the next film for next week's show. We had a blast, and we hope you enjoyed it. This episode was a production by Cinema Slime Productions. This is a group effort, and I speak for all of us when I say thank you. Seriously, it means a lot to us, and thanks for listening however you found us. Help us grow, leave us a 5-star review, and it really helps if you comment and share it with another cinema lover. Our website, cinemaslime.com, is up and running. We're adding essays. All of the episodes can be accessed there. And for our Patreon members, you get every episode ad-free and early. Our social media pages are always active, posting fun stuff, movie-related videos, and other film rabbit holes that we're exploring. You can also show us support by using Buy Me a Coffee, and we'll give you a shout out if you'd like. All of those links can be found in the episode notes. Love you!